Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm your host, Rolene Marks, and we are taking steps further to sorting out the new studios for the Israel Brief. In other words, sorting out my office so that I can broadcast normally. As I mentioned yesterday, yesterday was moving day, and today is sorting through all the chaos that comes with moving apartments. But as promised, we always bring you the top stories making headlines in Israel. And today's top story is sadly the horrendous murder of young Solomon Tekah, 19 years old, who was killed on Sunday night by an off-duty police officer. And thousands attended his funeral today, and his absolutely distraught father has really appealed that may there be no more deaths like this. Now, as you can well imagine, members of the Ethiopian community as well as supporters around the country have been protesting. Last night they protested across Haifa. Today there will be nationwide protests, and they are calling for people to join them for a protest and a vigil at 5 o'clock in Tel Aviv this afternoon. The police officer in question has been suspended pending an investigation for unlawful killing. And our thoughts and our prayers are with the Tekah family, and may they know no more sorrow. And our prayer is that may Solomon's memory be a blessing. Now, also over the last couple of weeks, the language between the United States and Iran has been heating up. And yesterday we brought you news that the Iranians had flouted terms of the nuclear agreement by enriching their uranium past the 300 kilogram limit. Now today those words have intensified, Iran threatening the United States that they will destroy Israel within half an hour if the United States attacks Iran. Israel's top diplomat, Foreign Minister Israel Katz, has been in Abu Dhabi. I mean, I really didn't think I would say this sentence, but he has been meeting with members of the Arab states, and he's warned that because of their flouting of the terms of the agreement, Iran are hedging further and further and further towards war. And it's very, very frightening that we are standing in the face of a possible nuclear standoff. French Prime Minister Emmanuel Macron has appealed to the Iranians to dial back enriching their uranium, and the Russians have also said to the Iranians not to react emotionally. So this is very, very trying, very, very deciding times, and we watch to see what is going to happen moving forward. Now, we are on the road to elections part 2 this year, taking place on the 17th of September. And last week we chatted about the surprise announcement from former Prime Minister Ehud Barak deciding that he will re-enter Israeli politics, and he will re-enter the race. And he seems to be gearing up and gaining momentum. Is this the return of Ehud Barak, the 77-year-old former Prime Minister and also former Chief of Staff of the Army? What it does mean, well, first of all, we don't know the name of his party. That is yet to be announced, but it is attracting some very, very interesting people on his list. Last week, when he announced that he was running, he mentioned that former Deputy IDF Chief of Staff Yair Golan would join him, and over the weekend we heard that Yitzhak Rabin's granddaughter will be joining, and today news breaks that one of the former leaders of Habayit HaYehudi, a more right-leaning party, will be leaving Habayit HaYehudi to join Barak's more centre-left list. We've also heard from Kahol Velavan, the blue and white, who said that they are not against entering into a coalition with Barak and his party. So it is really, really gearing up to be a very, very interesting election season, and I cannot believe that this is the second one in less than a year. So those are the top stories making headlines today. But if you want to read some more, check out our online content at www.layoftheland.online. Tonight you can read Ben Levitus's piece on perhaps there may be new paradigms between Israel and the Palestinians reaching some kind of peace agreement. Read his article. It's absolutely excellent and you can decide. Also, don't forget that our online community on Facebook is growing stronger and stronger, and we would love for you to be a part of that. So if you can, like us or follow us on Facebook at Lottel's site, and join our growing community right there and get your updates as they happen. And if you like your news just like this, condensed and delivered by the Israel Brief, simply click on the subscribe button on YouTube and you'll receive notifications to a device near you. I'm Rolene Marks, looking a little less chaotic today for the Israel Brief, and we will chat again tomorrow.